What's going on? Internet, the Maskman here. And unless you're living under a rock, you are aware that just the other day, Tamir Rice, the person who murdered him, was is not going to be charged for any wrongdoing and any crime. Um, the evaluating body to determine whether or not there was any wrongdoing in the case of the murder of a 12-year-old boy, has decided that the officer who killed him had every right to uh, assume that that young child was a threat and to execute him. So black, you know, people who are in charge of, speaking to black people at a major level, they spring into action. And they make, these somber ass, shows about, you know, let's say our frustration. Let's say, what we're concerned about, but let's have a peaceful protest. Now, I heard this on a radio show. Um, Now, as I do this shit more and more, I don't really know if I should and should not call out the names of these particular shows, because I'm really not, I really don't want it with these people. I'm not trying to get into an argument with niggas. I'm not trying to, make a name for myself beefing with niggas. Like, I ain't got no desire to beef with niggas. So I'm very serious, about making this, something that I do, to sustain myself. So I don't want that kind of energy. Oh, he just goes after people. He just attacks motherfuckers and he calls people's name out. Like, uh, I'm not, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I'm not trying to argue with motherfuckers all the time. I'm just trying to say what I think. So I don't know if I should, you know, call people's names out. But in this instance, I will. If in the future, if you think that I shouldn't, or if you feel that that's unnecessary, let me know. But I was listening to the DL Hughley show, and on the show they had like the replacement host. They had Gary Owen, the white guy who performs in front of all the black rooms. I think Ebony Steele and the executive producer Skip. I think Skip Cheatham is his name. And they were speaking on, they were telling people that, you know, you should protest, but protest peacefully, or your message will get lost. Your message will get lost. Now, to me, it sounded like, that's what they said. Protest peacefully, or your message will get lost. What I heard was, you know, you can go outside and let the people know that you're upset with the ruling on this case. You can go out there and make a demonstration. You can go out there and let the people know that you're not happy. But whatever you do, don't make these white people mad, because they not gonna care what you have to say after that. After you make these white people mad, they ain't gonna want to listen to you. We trying to get these white people to listen, and if you do something, if you break some property, if you burn something down, if you get violent, then these white people ain't gonna want to listen to you no more. That's what I heard. Um, and I'm annoyed by, black people who are in a position of influence telling the commoner like me, how the commoner should respond, how the common working class man, how they should react to a situation. Instead of getting on your platform, and giving people a strategy, instead of getting on your platform and giving people direction and saying, look, don't just burn down the town that you live in. Don't be, instead of telling people, don't be stupid, which is what you should say, be smart, be strategic. Instead of telling people to be strategic, they're trying to corral and tame the savage nigga. They're trying to tame the savage nigga. It's like just be calm, just be calm. It's unfair, it's unjust, it's wrong. It's so wrong. Why does this have to happen? Why does this have to happen? And then, they'll talk about, how a police can make that kind of mistake. And that these cops are overworked, and most cops are good, and all of those things, and how the community needs to get to know the cops, and they shouldn't just call a cop when they're upset or when they're having a problem, but they should speak to cops, because it's about speaking to cops and getting to know cops, and it's about black cops, and there should be black cops. And I'm just annoyed by this whole rhetoric. I'm really annoyed. It really aggravates me. What's important for black people, and what black people need to be given, is a roadmap. Black people need to say, look, you have power outside of standing outside and holding signs and holding prayer vigils and ranting to the camera and crying and begging and kicking and busting up property. You got power outside of that. These people, they don't have any compassion for your human life. And that's the thing, and that's something that they never went out of their way to emphasize. They wanted to deal with whether the cop had the legality or the justification of killing a child. What they never did was talk about how, apathetic the white community is to the death of a young boy who didn't do anything wrong. That boy didn't actually do anything wrong. He didn't actually commit a crime. He wasn't actually a threat. He wasn't actually a problem. So even if it was an honest mistake, even if it was, a justifiable kill, a justifiable murder, an acceptable homicide legally, even if they were well within their right to do that legally and even morally, does that not make it a tragedy that a boy who wasn't actually trying to kill somebody got his life taken away? These white people don't have no compassion whatsoever for the tragic loss of a young boy. Now, I've seen a lot of men get killed, and I wouldn't say I'm numb to it, but I'm I'm a cold-blooded motherfucker. I just put it like that. I'm a cold nigga. I got problems, man. I don't, it takes a lot to shock me. And even the 12-year-old boy didn't shock me. But the 12-year-old boy, that really stuck out to me. Because that 12-year-old boy that got gunned down was younger than Emmett Till. Even Emmett Till was like 14 or 15 before they brutally beat and killed him. This boy was 12. And in the media, they were referring to him as a man. So I was just like, not only did he get killed, but he wasn't shown any compassion. There was not a compassionate outcry. None of these white people on these message boards online, and nobody was saying, look, it's a horrible thing. It's terrible. I feel bad that that boy had to die. But the police, there was no but. They didn't even try. It was justified. It was cool. He did what he was supposed to do. What you wanted him to do? You wanted him to put his life in danger? I know that's his job to put himself in harm's way, but you're supposed to shoot in 5 or 6 seconds of being in a conflict situation. You know, his life was in danger. His life is important. He wants to go home to his family. His family is important. He can't take that risk. He could have got that cop could have got shot. You want the police do you want police officers to die? So I'm just like, all right, okay. You sit up here and you tell people to protest peacefully, but you don't deal with the core of the issue that you are that getting shot in the street is not even black folks' biggest problem. You know, the white people who are the gods of statistics, the stat gods, well, they'll tell you that more white people get killed by cops than black people. They love throwing that shit in your face. Like that means that white people have just as many problems as black people in this country. They focus on these stories. They pluck them out. They put them in your face. They make a big deal of them. They show you no compassion and no humanity. And then they flip around and show you that, hey, they killing more white folks than black folks. And they make it seem like you're making a big deal out of this. You're not even the worst. You ain't even getting it the worst. But getting it like that ain't the biggest problem. Prison is a bigger problem. The jail to school pipeline is a problem. Not being able to get jobs is a problem. Not having any influence over the police system is a problem. Being harassed by the police, being fined by the police, being violated by the police, getting raped by the police, all of these problems. It ain't just you getting killed. They fuck with you on every level of life. And then they'll flip it on you. But you don't want to do a show about that. You don't want to talk about that. You want to tell black folks that they need to calm down and don't break anything. They need to protest and protest peacefully. No, you need to protest better. You need to protest smarter. You need to protest more effectively. You need to protest in a way that's going to get you what you deserve and what you are owed. You don't need to waste your time waving signs. You need to figure out what laws are on the books. You need to figure out who's getting money. You need to figure out who are on these committees, who are on these legislating bodies, how stuff actually works, how things work, and how you can manipulate the system and turn it to your advantage. In a lot of these cities, you make up the majority population. In a lot of these cities where you're being smacked up and disrespected. And if not in the city, then certainly in the district, certainly in that part of town. They concentrate black people together. They're not telling you to focus your resources and to pool your collective strength. They're not telling you that. They're telling you to protest peacefully. I just want to say that you people, if you're not going to offer any constructive if you're not going to offer any actionable information, if you're not going to tell people what they can actually do, then don't tell them to calm down. Don't tell them how to behave. Don't tell them that their message is going to be lost and white people are not going to care what they have to say. Who gives a fuck what white people think about what our message is? Like who are these people who give these fucks? I want to know. Why do I give a fuck what if they get the message? I don't care if they get the message. I don't care if they get the message. I don't care if they get the message, because the message ain't for them. They don't need a message. They don't need to be addressed. They don't need to be talked to. The time for having, this plea and this begging of white folks, oh, please understand me. White people understand black folks very well. White people know what you like to eat. They know what you like to drink. They know what you like to wear. They know where you like to go. They know where you live. They know what you like to watch on television. They know almost everything that there is to know about you. What else do you want them to know that they don't know already? They already know. Why are you trying to communicate and act like you're going to appeal to their compassion, and they show you that they don't even have the decency to recognize this as a tragedy, as an unfortunate situation that a young boy had to die. A boy had to die because of a miscommunication, for a misunderstanding, because of a lack of competence, or even complete competence. I'm not here to say that that wasn't a justified shooting. I'm not here to say that that cop wasn't in his legal right, or he was. That's not my position. That's not my interest. That's not my concern. My concern is to the wranglers of niggas who are trying to tell black people how to react. If you don't have anything productive to say, if you don't have anything instructive to say, if you don't have a direction, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a plan, then you need to be quiet and you need to protest silently. But that's what I have to say on that subject. I don't even really I can't say let me know what you think, but you can respond to my video. You can respond to what I had to say in the comments. I'm not no person who, blocks comments. I don't do that corny shit. But leave your comments, rate the video, like it, dislike it, be honest, subscribe to my channel. If there's anything you want me to talk about, you can send me an email at themrmaskman@gmail.com. You can find some of my videos on Daily Motion at themrmaskman, Facebook, Twitter, themrmaskman, the same place everywhere. I appreciate you for watching this long ass videos that I make, long ass video that I make, because I make long ass videos. I appreciate YouTube for, changing up the rules and allowing, people who ain't got hardly no subscribers to make long ass videos. But that's all I got to say about this subject, and I will see you in the next video.